Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Alexander and today I'm going to review Exponential Apocalypse by Eirik Gumeny. Eirik Gumeny. As you may have guessed from the title, this is a post-apocalyptic novel, but not the kind of philosophical, you know, how will humanity ever survive and what's going to happen now kind of way. This is humour. Pure humour. Instead of giving you a plot summary, I'm just going to read the back of the book, which is an extract from the first chapter. There had been 22 apocalypses to date. There were now 4 distinct variations of humanity roaming the earth, 6 if you counted the undead. It had been suggested that there really should have been a new word to describe the end of everything forever, but most people simply stopped noticing, much less caring, after the tally hit double digits. Not to mention the failure of forever in living up to its potential. The last apocalypse wasn't even considered a cataclysm by most major governments. It was just a Thursday. It's not really worth making a book review after reading this, I think, because I think from the extract you should be able to tell immediately whether you're going to love or hate this book. So instead what I'm going to do, I'm going to compare this with The Catcher in the Rye, because to me, Exponential Apocalypse is everything The Catcher in the Rye is not, and vice versa. I'm not even going to say that one is better than the other, because that's the whole point. They're totally different. I mean, for starters, Exponential Apocalypse came out last year, and The Catcher in the Rye was published in 1965. And The Catcher in the Rye is a depressingly realistic account of a person's life. Whereas Exponential Apocalypse takes all realism, crumples it into a little ball and throws it out the flipping window. I mean, at first you may be surprised to learn that the God of Thunder is suddenly working on Holiday Inn, but by the middle of the book you get used to it, and when you suddenly learn that a squirrel has gained telekinetic powers, you barely lift an eyebrow. The second, more important difference, it lies in how much the books can be analysed. Do you remember me talking about how in The Catcher in the Rye, the story itself wasn't that interesting, but what mattered was the underlying story and symbols? Well, in Exponential Apocalypse, it's the other way round. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that there is no underlying story. No symbols, no metaphors, no themes. And I suppose that in that sense, it is a little bit brain dead. Drop dead hilarious, but brain dead. And I suppose if you want an underlying story, it's going to be how did the 22 apocalypses happen and what exactly are the 22 apocalypses? And they're not all fully explained. I mean, some of them are explained in great detail and some of them are just hinted at. After the world was ended for the 21st time, every single governing body on the planet collapsed in what was described as the greatest, most confusing games of dominoes ever witnessed. And some aren't talked about at all. And maybe in a way that is a little disappointing, but great opportunity for fanfiction. A final word of warning. The language in the book is quite easy to read, but it also contains more swear words than in any other book I've ever read. In fact, with the non-swearing policy that I have on my channel, I think it's going to be very hard to read out an extract from this book, because even though the chapters are usually just 2 pages long, most of them have naughty words in them, like or or So, if you see reading as an intellectual activity, where the goal is to stimulate the brain with an intriguing narrative. But if you're the kind of person who's never read a book because you get too bored too quickly, I'd recommend Exponential Apocalypse to you. Or if you're an avid reader but you just finished something huge like Moby Dick and you need something to cool down your brain and just enjoy, Exponential Apocalypse. Anyway, that concludes my book review. I certainly hope you enjoyed it, and, well, my next book review is going to come up soon.